When a man is able to walk away from a woman without feeling scared, without feeling anxious, or without feeling like he's failed, I promise you that woman will find you 50% more attractive by walking away. I promise you. Because we expect that obsession. We expect that attraction already. You know, if a man's coming up to us, we're like, oh, just another guy, I guess, you know, I'm attracting another guy. And then if you're acting like that, and the man's just like, all right, fine. If you're not interested, he walks away. That's where the woman's like, oh, maybe he's not actually that bad. Maybe he was actually interested in me. Maybe I should give him a chance.
What most men don't realize is that walking away isn't just a move. It's power. It's not about being petty. It's not about making her chase you blindly. It's about showing that your value doesn't depend on anyone else's attention. I'm here to break down exactly why this works and how it flips the dynamic in your favor. If you've ever felt stuck, ignored, or like no matter what you do, she's never impressed, this is the mindset you need. Welcome to the channel, where we cut through the noise of dating advice and get straight to what actually moves the needle. Today, we're diving into the power of walking away. I'll show you clips of real-life examples, and I'll pause and analyze them so you can see the psychology at play. You'll see how subtle actions, or even doing nothing at all, can shift everything. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some men are irresistible, not because they try harder, but because they know when to step back. You'll learn to harness this power with confidence, clarity, and a touch of playful strategy. This isn't about games. It's about control, respect, and standing in your own energy. 1. Why walking away works.
You know what one of the coldest truths is about men today? Most of us, and I put myself for falling into this category in the past, but most of us are afraid of walking away from a woman who no longer serves our purpose. Let that sink in for a second. Because some of you guys are in this right now. Some of you guys, you will stay stuck telling yourself, she's the one. She's all I got. I'll never find another like her. But deep down inside, you and I both know that you're only saying this because you're scared of what's on the other side. You're scared to outgrow what was familiar. Meanwhile, women, on the other hand, they got this down to a science. They have mastered the art of walking away. They'll drop a man real quick the moment his value in their story fades. No explanation, no drawn out convos. You guys have been here before. They're gone. They'll just disappear because they know their worth. They know that clinging to dead weight holds them back. But you, on the other hand, you got to start moving with that same level of respect for yourself. Understand this, staying with a woman or staying with anyone who no longer aligns with your purpose isn't loyalty. This is self-sabotage. This isn't about losing love. You're holding yourself hostage in your own story.
Let's start with the big idea. Walking away is not weakness, it's power. Most men think they have to chase, text, explain themselves, or prove their worth constantly. They think persistence equals attraction. But the truth? It's the opposite. When you step back, when you quietly remove your attention, something fascinating happens. She starts noticing what she's actually losing. Suddenly, your presence isn't just a given. It becomes something she has to earn. That tension, that uncertainty, is magnetic. It's what makes women pay attention, reevaluate their choices, and, even without realizing it, start chasing the energy you've been radiating all along. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, so I just ignore her? It's not about ignoring her to be cruel. It's about maintaining your own life, keeping your confidence intact, and showing that your value doesn't depend on someone else's validation. In this video, I'll break down clips where this works in real situations, so you can actually see it in action. You'll notice the small cues, her curiosity, her texts, her subtle attempts to engage, that reveal she's thinking about you more than you think. And here's the secret most men miss. Walking away works best when it's not desperate or forced. You don't overplay it, you don't panic, you just step into your own world. That pause, that calm distance, it's not emptiness, it's attraction. Once you understand this, you start to see dating differently. You're no longer chasing, you're leading. And that's the energy that women can't resist, whether they admit it or not.
Walk away from anyone or anything that gives you bad vibes. There's no need for explaining yourself. You don't need to feel bad about it. This is your life. You need to make more space for your peace, your happiness, and your mental health. There is no more room for negativity in your future.
2. The psychology behind it. Here's where most men get it completely wrong. They don't understand why walking away actually works. It's not magic. It's psychology. Humans are wired to notice what they don't have. When you're constantly available, constantly texting, constantly trying, you become predictable. Predictability kills desire. But when you pull back, even just slightly, it triggers a very basic response: curiosity and evaluation. She starts to wonder, why isn't he around? What's he doing? Does he even care? That's when her mind starts working. And trust me, she's going to imagine scenarios you haven't even thought of. What most men don't realize is that women don't just chase out of spite or game. They chase what signals value and self-respect. Walking away isn't about playing games. It's about demonstrating that you have your own life, your own energy, and your own standards. And here's the kicker. Confidence doesn't come from constant attention. It comes from self-possession. When you step back and don't overreact, you're showing her that you're a man who isn't dependent on her validation. That shift alone changes the dynamic. She no longer feels in control. Now, you subtly set the tone. She's aware, even if she doesn't say it. This is why you'll see men who understand this principle have women checking in, wondering, and even regretting ignoring them. The energy you create by walking away isn't about manipulation. It's about balance. It's about holding yourself with dignity while letting her come to you, intrigued by the space you've created. Later in this video, I'll show real examples where this subtle distance changes everything. You'll see how small actions, or even doing nothing at all, can completely shift attention and attraction. 3. Subtle signals men miss. Now let's get into the part most men completely miss. The subtle signals women pick up when you walk away. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic exits. It's the small things that speak volumes. When you stop chasing, when you don't reply instantly, when you stay composed instead of panicking, you're sending a message without saying a word. You're not desperate, you're not needy, you're in control. And that's fascinating to a woman. She notices the energy shift even if she can't put it into words. Suddenly, she's aware of you in a way she wasn't before. She starts evaluating her own behavior. Did she take you for granted? Did she misjudge how much you value yourself? Most men assume attraction is all about effort, but women are wired to respond to confidence, independence, and unpredictability. That unpredictability isn't about games. It's about self-respect. You're showing her that you have options, that your attention isn't given freely to anyone, and that makes her curiosity spike. Here's the intriguing part. The more calm and collected you remain while stepping away, the more her mind starts filling in the blanks. She imagines possibilities, she questions her choices, and she notices the qualities in you she may have overlooked. In the clips I'm about to show, you'll see exactly how these small, subtle pauses create massive shifts in her perception. It's fascinating to watch because it's not dramatic, it's invisible power. You don't force it, you embody it. By the end of this section, you'll understand why subtlety beats desperation every single time, and why walking away can turn the tables without a single word being said. 4. Real-life reactions. Let's talk about what actually happens when you put this into action. Walking away isn't theoretical. It creates real reactions, and most men never see it because they're too busy overthinking. When you step back and stop giving constant attention, she starts noticing patterns she ignored before. Maybe she texts less. Maybe she waits for you to reply. Maybe she even checks herself, her words, her tone, her energy. That shift is fascinating because it shows she's recalibrating her perception of you. She's asking herself questions you don't even hear. Why isn't he around? Does he even care? Am I overstepping? That's where the power of subtlety comes in. You don't chase, you don't plead, you don't explain, yet everything you're doing is louder than words. She senses confidence and she starts to mirror curiosity. I've seen it countless times. Men who understand this principle don't have to win arguments or prove their value. Their calm distance does it for them. She might try to test you, push boundaries, or check if you're really detached. And here's the key. How you respond matters more than what you say. A simple, collected reaction, or even doing nothing, keeps the intrigue alive. The clip I'll show you next illustrates exactly this. A man steps back, stays busy with his life, and suddenly the woman he was chasing is the one initiating, the one overthinking, the one curious. That's the shift you want. It's subtle, it's strategic, and it's incredibly effective. By the end of this section, you'll see how real-life reactions prove that walking away isn't rejection, it's influence. You create attraction by simply holding your ground, showing your value, and letting her energy match yours. 5. How to use it smartly. Let's bring this into a real relationship example so it's easier to see how it works. Imagine a man, let's call him Alex. Alex has been dating a woman for a few months, and he notices that no matter how much effort he puts in, she seems distant, maybe even a little dismissive. Most men would panic, text more, or try to win her attention. But Alex does something different. He steps back. He stops over-texting, stops chasing, and focuses on his own life, his friends, his hobbies. At first, she doesn't notice, or she thinks he's just busy. But then she starts to wonder, why isn't he around? Did I push too hard? Am I actually interested in him? That pause, that distance, suddenly gives Alex power in the relationship without him saying a word. He's not cold or manipulative, he's just holding his ground. Over time, she begins to match his energy. She reaches out more, engages more thoughtfully, and even expresses appreciation for the time and attention he does give. Alex didn't change who he was. He simply demonstrated that his value isn't tied to constant validation. That's the magic of walking away. It's not about forcing someone to chase you. It's about creating a dynamic where respect, curiosity, and attraction naturally rise. In relationships, men often forget that absence can be just as influential as presence. By stepping back strategically, Alex didn't just reclaim his confidence, he reshaped the way she viewed him. And that's the ultimate goal, not to manipulate, but to establish balance, respect, and intrigue, so the relationship operates on a healthier, more magnetic level. Walking away isn't rejection. It's strategy, confidence, and self-respect in action. When you step back, you're not playing games. You're showing that your value isn't tied to anyone else's attention. Women notice, minds start turning, and attraction grows naturally. The key is subtlety, calm, and holding your own energy. By understanding this, you stop chasing and start leading in the relationship dynamic. Remember, it's not about forcing her to care. It's about creating a space where respect, curiosity, and attraction rise on their own. Master walking away, and you'll never feel powerless again.